my friends, it's not only illegal, but it's wrong to yell fire in a crowded movie theater, unless, of course, there's a fire. And in times like these, in the wake of two horrible shootings, mass shootings, Gilroy, California, Dayton, Ohio, it's wrong to point the finger and try and blame people, unless doing so is warranted, unless doing so may prevent disaster going forward, in which case it becomes one's duty to do that. Is there a cause that we can point to behind the kind of atrocities we've seen in the last few days? Well, yeah, there is, and I talked about it on my show yesterday. Problem is, it's not a cause that you can simply fix. You can't press a button and change our culture, our zeitgeist. I wish we could. However, if there is fuel that's been thrown on the fire, I know exactly where it's coming from, and so does Ben Shapiro. He wrote a piece that's on the Daily Wire, the headline, "Why Can't We Unify in the Face of Evil?" And here's what Ben Shapiro writes, and I'm quoting, "This should be easy. We're all on the same side. When a white supremacist terrorist group shoots up a Walmart filled with innocents in El Paso, we should all be on the same side. We should be mourning together. We should be fighting together. Instead, we're fighting one another. We're fighting one another for one simple reason. Too many on the political left have become accustomed to castigating the character of those who disagree with the left on policy. Favor tougher border controls? This puts you on the side of the white supremacist terrorist. Believe in Second Amendment rights? You're a vicious, violent cretin covering for those who commit acts of evil. Cite Western civilization as a source of our common values? Believe that police forces across the United States are not systematically racist? Favor smaller government intervention in the social sphere? In short, disagree with the program of the American left. Most of all, consider voting for Trump. You are an accessory to murder." Unquote. My friends, I chronicled for you yesterday how whores like Elizabeth Warren wasted no time whatsoever in going out and fundraising when the corpses of the murdered had yet to be buried. The Democrats are out to make political hay. They're out to score big dollars from donors by scaring them, which is reprehensible. And if Ben Shapiro wants to know why there's no peace, that's why there's no peace. Because the Democrats are out of power, and they don't rest for a second. They are implacable. They want that power back. And if they have to climb over a mountain of dead bodies to do so, they will. If they have to take your rights as an American away from you, they will. If they have to shred the Constitution, they will. Worse, they are, and they have been. There is no way of looking at these two events. And I said Dayton, Ohio by mistake. I apologize. El Paso. No way of looking at these events and saying reasonably, intelligently that Donald Trump is to blame. He certainly is not. From what I hear, these guys are leftists. One was a Bernie supporter. One was a Hiawatha supporter. But the truth doesn't matter. And sensitivities don't matter. And the national mood doesn't matter. It's all grist for the Democrat mill. And that is why we have less peace in this country than ever before. That is why, just earlier today, someone emailed me a picture of a new yarmulke, a skull cap that Jews wear. It's red, and it's got the name Trump on it. And the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw it was that, yeah, you can wear that if you want to go out in the street and get beat up. It's a sad state of affairs. The left is gone wild. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, other groups going out committing violent acts, following people into restaurants to harass them, camping outside Mitch McConnell's home to harass him. The left is absolutely gone ape. And that is why there's no peace in this country. Now, as you well know, When I'm done with my show each day, I post it on YouTube as a video, and I received a couple of messages from listeners, from people who watch the video. And here's what one of them said. Maybe I'll read the other one after the first commercial break. This person writes the following: I am a Christian, I lean conservative, and I'm a gore grind, porn grind fan. The shooter was an atheist, a liberal, and a gore grind, porn grind musician. Maybe we shouldn't blame the music because I have no criminal record and I'm disgusted in the actions of the shooter. Thousands of us listen to this music, and because of the actions of one person, we're all targeted. I'm a happy person. This music does not affect almost all of us. Do not blame this art form for the actions of one person. Again, I'm religious, and even though I like this music, I in no way represents my actual feelings. Well, to the gentleman who wrote to me, I hear what you're saying, and I never intended to say, and I never did say, that everybody who listens to this kind of stuff is a freak. Absolutely not. As a journalist for 40 years, I know that anytime you say everybody or anything, you're wrong. But this kind of music, gore grind and porn grind, will serve to unhinge people who are close to being unhinged already. It may not affect you, and I'm very happy about that. It may not even affect most people. Although I can't for the life of me imagine why you would want to listen to that stuff, but that's okay. But there are people out there who will get unhinged by it, like this guy was. And besides, the fact that people want to listen to stuff called porn grind shows how far we've come, how far down we've gone in this country, where this is considered normal. Just another choice, just another option. It happens to be my taste. So no disrespect intended, my friend, and thank you for writing to me, but when it comes to music, I've got to believe that you can find something better than gore grind and porn grind. I recommend you go searching for better kinds of music. Believe me, they're out there. I'm an old geezer, I know. Anyway, it's Wednesday, and it's Real Truth. Be right back.
Ryan again with Turf Famers Landscaping. What a great season we've had so far. We've installed flower beds, paver, and flagstone patios. We've planted hundreds of trees, shrubs, and flowers, and done nothing good by any home. Thank you to all the KHNC for calling and considering. If you are in Fort Collins, Loveland, Timnett, Wellington, or Port, please call us at 970-460-8873 or visit us at turffamerslandscaping.com.
On a radio station boasts about having 2, 3, 4, 500,000 listeners. But what they don't tell you is the average listener only listens for 4 minutes. A song plays they don't like, same old boring commentary, or worse yet, as soon as the commercial starts playing, they change the station. Here at 1360 KHNC, our listeners listen longer, a lot longer. We have one of the longest time spent listening in the industry. That means our listeners don't change the dial when the commercial starts playing because they don't want to miss what our host has to say next. Advertise at 1360 KHNC and have your message be heard. Call us at 970-587-5003. We also have the best rate in Colorado, 970-587-5003 or 1360KHNC.com.
Want to get away from all the traffic and people yearning for a moment of peace and quiet? Join me, Brian, on a Trout Tamers excursion to the cool waters of North Florida. Experience the broad, sleeping, and empty landscapes of the soothe your soul. Call me at 970-460-8873 or book a trip at trouttamers.com.
Now, right here, KHNC, Hartford, Colorado. Stay tuned. The Alex Jones Show, right here, KHNC.
My friends, you bet your ass when the Real Truth Show is on, nobody's changing the station. They want to hear everything I have to say for the simple reason that I'm talking about the burning issues of the day, the ones that affect your life every day. It's not just me. Okay, it's mostly me. I appreciate your saying that. I'm sorry. I said it. I also wrote a book called Real Truth Stay Angry. If you are glued to your radio or your computer, when Real Truth is on, you will be glued to Real Truth Stay Angry. Go to virtualbookworm.com, order a copy. You will love it. Also, on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. However you get it, get it. Because it's stuff you need to know. Now, let me continue with this thread. A response to my video from yesterday's show on YouTube. Here's another reply I got. First of all, the first reply I got said, great video. Thank you very much. Here's another reply I got, and it's very telling. So listen. He writes, I thought you were going to dissect a problem that is pandemic to the United States. Actually, pandemic means worldwide, but we won't quibble. There is a plethora of social and cultural issues in regard to mental health and the Second Amendment. The majority of Americans want meaningful gun reform, and the Democrats are the only ones willing to do it because they aren't bankrolled by NRA. Instead, you went on an emotional detour with your uninformed tangent, completely ignoring basic concessions that need to be made in order to fix complex, enduring structural issues that are specific to the U.S. Gun reform is the answer to mass murders. Healthcare reform is the answer to mental health issues. The structure of change is complex, but unless you can admit these self-evident solutions, you're doomed to repeat the tragic history that has plagued you. Unquote. I don't know what tragic history he's referring to that's plagued me, unless he knows my ex-wives, and then I have to agree with him. Gun control is not the issue. We've seen people, unfortunately, tragically murder others with other things than guns. MS-13 uses crowbars and hammers and saws to kill people. Muslims drive cars into crowds of people to kill people. It's not guns. What happened with Timothy McVeigh when he blew up the building in Oklahoma City? No guns. I am willing to concede that we don't need to have assault rifles in the hands of ordinary citizens, but that's me, and that's a debate that America is having. As I pointed out cogently in yesterday's show, the problem we have is a problem we probably won't be able to fix, and I hate to say that. It's a societal problem. It's, forgive me for saying, it's gore grind, and it's porn grind, and it's the garbageification of America. It's ultra-violent video games and TV shows and movies. It's parents who don't feel like parenting. It's kids growing up without a father in the house. It's all these things. If I could change all of them with a wave of a magic wand, I would. I've tried. I can't. These are things that each and every one of us, each individual American needs to work on. There's no magic solution here. American society is coming unraveled. I've said that very many times, and every single day it confirms that it's true. Our values are less. We're willing to stand for more. Each outrage makes us that much more immune to outrage. We've got major problems. And if I may venture a possible solution, I think it begins in the family. And I think it begins in the house of worship. Kids who grew up in solid families, where they know they are loved and valued, and kids who are attached to religious institutions. I'm not talking about religious institutions that tell you to blow yourself up or cut heads off, but people who belong to religious congregations have a basis. They're anchored. They're around people. They're learning. They're modeling values. That's the best place to start, in my occasionally not so humble opinion. Let me go to, here we go. Here is a young woman named Patricia Dixon. Okay. She says, she's talking about the fact that Democrats are blaming Trump for the shootings. Well, it's not the stupidest thing Democrats say, but There are so many stupid things Democrats say. It's hard to keep track. Anyway, here's Patricia Dixon.
The reason
This, my friends, she's making such an important point. And I keep going back to it, and the liberals I talk to are willfully deaf. They won't hear it. You're breaking up families. Wrong. The people who chose to come here illegally are breaking up their own families. You're treating children terribly. Actually, that's wrong. Children and adults are getting room, board, food, medical attention, and they're having their rights defended and preserved. The whole fandango, the whole thing is brought about by people intentionally, knowingly, willingly breaking our laws. That's the cause of the problem. My friends, here's a litmus test for you that you can use in your own life. When you're talking to someone about this problem, and they say Trump doesn't like immigrants, or America doesn't like immigrants, or we're not treating immigrants well, you know, when you hear those words, you know the person is a knucklehead. Clarity and exactitude of thought and expression are important. This country has nothing against immigrants, legal immigrants. The president and his supporters have nothing against immigrants. We have something against illegal immigrants, just as I would have someone I found crawling through my window in the middle of the night trying to burgle my apartment. Legal immigration is not illegal immigration, and when people conflate the two, they're either real stupid or real cagey, and they're trying to put one over on you. Know that.
he's never said, I don't want any immigrants coming here.
Now, my friends, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is vying with Joe Biden for the title of dumbest one-time or present member of Congress. She says so many stupid things, it's hard to keep track. I feel like putting a little chart up on my wall and putting a little line down every time she says something brainless. And if she's this stupid, think about the people who voted for her.
And when he said that, she just sat there like she didn't know what to say. So are you telling me that she actually didn't know that those people that are in the detention centers did not come legally to the United States of America? Are you telling me that she doesn't know that they did not come through the port of entry? Or that maybe she doesn't even know that we have a port of entry? This is a woman in Congress. So it's possible she didn't know, or it's possible she was just lying, just like the rest of the Democrat politicians. And
now, see, Patricia Dixon is surprised, and I don't blame her. She's saying, how could AOC not know this? After all, she's a member of Congress, the implication being that you have to know a lot to be a member of Congress. Well, AOC didn't have to know a lot to be a member of Congress. She needed to have brown skin and a vagina, and she got into Congress. Used to be you had to be smart to get in Congress, but now the Democrats are involved in nothing besides identity politics. All you need is body parts.
Other people are just leaving that part out.
My friend says, again, she's absolutely right. Believe you me. The Democrats who are screaming that the people who want a border wall are racist, they know it's not racism. They think you're stupid enough to believe it when they say it, and that's why they say it, but they're not. They know it. They know it's all about bringing in millions of new Democrat voters. That's all there is. They know there's nothing the least bit racist about it. Only their brainless followers, only Democrat voters truly believe there's racism, and they're not a smart bunch of people.
When you go to a port of entry,
Well, friends, I grew up in New York City. New York is a Democratic bastion. They vote Democrats, even Democrats as dumb as Bill de Blasio. You go to the subway in New York City, and they have turnstiles there or gates. You try hopping over a turnstile without paying, cops will chase you down. And no one will feel sorry for you. So what the hell's the difference between that and someone hopping the turnstile down at our southern border? You're doing something illegal, and the authorities have to do something about it. Somehow the connection is not being made by Democrats, by liberals, by the AOCs of the world. They figure you have to follow the law, except when they don't want to, then you don't have to. You've heard me say that liberalism is a form of mental disorder. There it is. That's the thumbprint of it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back, and I'm confident that no one's going to change the station while we're gone. All right, guys, welcome back. And I say that confident, knowing that you didn't go anywhere. You've been sitting there breathlessly waiting for me to return, and I have returned. Here's a video from Prager University. Michelle Malkin will come on in a few seconds. It starts with Thomas Homan, the former acting director of ICE, being questioned by your favorite punching bag and mine, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York. They're talking about kids at the border, how people are treated at the border. That's the beginning of the video. And then Michelle Malkin will talk to us about the fact that immigrants have to come to the United States legally. How's that for a concept? Here we go.
And so the recommendation of the measure that you recommended,
Boy, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sure is stupid. I mean, when you're watching this video, you can see the stupid on her face. She has no clue. All right, here's Michelle Malkin. So, folks, think about it. That's a big, big fact. 3.5 million people, potentially, allowed into our country every year. Every year. Where'd the racism go? Where'd the hatred of immigrants go? I don't see it. 3.5 million people a year, and idiots on the left have the audacity to tell Republicans, to tell conservatives, you don't want immigrants here. That's totally brainless on its face.
In addition,
Folks, let me interrupt. Have you ever heard a Democrat or a liberal say we need to enforce our laws? Think about it. I'll give you a couple of seconds. I can't remember any Democrat, any liberal saying we need to enforce our laws. Think about that. This is the inmates running the asylum with no laws, no consistent enforcement, no border, no ICE, which the Democrats want to get rid of. You've got utter chaos in this country. So I'm asking you, before we go to commercial, do you personally, do you want utter chaos in this country, in your community, in your city? Well, unless there's something wrong with your brain, no, you don't. You want law and order. Democrats don't. Democrats fight it every inch of the way. Democrats go out and scream racism because they don't want law and order. They want disorder and helpless Americans looking to them for a handout. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to Real Truth. I am Howard Real, the author of Real Truth. Stay angry. Go to virtualbookworm.com, pick up a copy. You will thank me. There's not a lot of things you can say about Democrats that's good. I mean, not if you're being truthful. Tucker Carlson is trying. He's on Fox News. He's saying that not everybody in the 2020 Democratic field is a lunatic. Now, when you're dealing with Democrats, that's actually a compliment. Tucker Carlson, go.
We told you in the past.
Yeah, the Democrats don't want to talk about the working, tax-paying middle class. That's probably you. The Democrats don't want to think about you. They're not going to bother with you. They're not going to cater to you. They're not going to represent you. They're going to represent, at one end of the spectrum, the people who give them millions of dollars. At the other end of the spectrum, the people who break our laws, come here illegally with their hands out. That's who the Democrats want to placate, not you.
Progressives wrote those voters off as disgusting a long time ago. They're poor, they're uneducated, and yet at the same time, they are deeply privileged. It goes without saying that they must be racist, every single one of them. Tim Ryan is probably racist for thinking about them. The modern Democratic Party has zero use for these kind of people. They've been excluded from the emerging Al Sharpton private equity coalition that defines the Democratic Party. So apparently is anyone who cares about what voters think. Several times last night, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders personally attacked any candidate who dared point out there might be a limit to how many unpopular ideas you can impose on a nation that's supposed to be a democracy. The very idea that you'd have to win popular support for your policies seemed to enrage them, Warren especially. At one point, they all but accused a CNN anchor of being a secret Republican plant. Probably the first time that's ever happened.
You do not support Medicare for all. Is Senator Warren correct? Do you just not lack the will to fight for it?
Jake, your question is a Republican talking point.
30 seconds.
Advertising tonight with that talking point.
What you want to do instead is find the Republican talking point of a made-up piece of some other part and say, oh, we don't really have to do anything. We should stop using Republican talking points in order to talk with each other about how to best provide that health care.
Now, what is a Republican talking point? I'm very glad you asked, because I'm here with an answer. Anything that smacks in the least of common sense, anything that's workable, anything that actually helps Americans in the middle class, anything that strengthens our national defense, anything that spurs our economy, these are Republican talking points. Well, you know what? You bet your ass they are. Because the talking points I hear coming from Democrats are all brainless. Open borders, free college, free health care for illegals, no ICE, sanctuary cities. You won't find those talking points coming out of the mouths of Republicans. You know why? Of course you know why. If you're listening to my show, you know why. Because Republicans are educated, smart, responsible people. We're hardworking, tax-paying Americans. We don't have time for idiocy. The wealthy elite you see on this CNN stage, they do have time for idiocy.
So what you just saw that last clip, that really was the story
Yeah, she's a liar. No one's talking about locking up someone who comes here seeking refuge unless they break the law. Then they get locked up. Do you hear that, Pocahontas? Can you understand that, Liawatha? They conflate the two, just like that woman Dixon was saying. They conflate legal and illegal immigrants. Two completely, totally different things. And Elizabeth Warren knows that. She may be stupid, but she's not that stupid. And she may be obnoxious, but, well, there is no but. She's obnoxious. And she's a fake and a phony and a fraud. And those are her good points. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a commercial break, come back, and hit you with some news, and we'll go from there.
Focused on the client's bottom line, not the realtor's bottom line. It provides personal, over-the-top service.
The reason I'm shaking my head is because there's supposed to be some music in the background to let me know we're coming to a commercial. There was no music. Instead, the commercial just came on. If this was the first time this had happened, it wouldn't be so bad. It's about the 11 or 12 trillionth time. Hence the head shaking. Back to the radio.
Call me today at 720-203-0731 or visit coloradoproperties.online. Let me do a great job for you. Grandpa's Pawn and Gun over 25 years ago. Family owned, family operated store, and only non-corporate pawn shop. For alcohol, firearms, there is a second
Item from page6.com. CNN is fast-tracking an all-black panel show. Page 6 has exclusively learned. We're told the cable network hopes to hire regular CNN contributors April Ryan, Andrew Gillum, Angela Rye, and Bakari Sellers as panelists for a brand new show. The plan was kicked into high gear following the positive response the group received after appearing on the network's morning show New Day with Allison Camerota and John Berman during the Democrat debates last week. Folks, CNN, as usual, has its head up its ass, and it's sprinting in the wrong direction. What America does not need is more racial division. We're already seeing proms and graduations in colleges and universities restricted by race. It's absolutely anathema to America. It's the stupidest thing you can think of. And so naturally, CNN has got its arms wrapped around it. Item from the Associated Press, Dateline, Americus, Georgia. A Georgia woman who went on a viral Facebook Live rant claiming she was HIV positive and intentionally infecting others is now being investigated by police. America's Police Major Herman Lamar told news outlets they received several tips Friday on the video. The woman is identified as Brandy Yakima Lassiter, unquote. My friends, if you know her, just stay platonic friends with her. Where you go with an item like that, except to show how bizarre America is becoming. Item from Market Watch. About 1 in 5 Generation Z, and young millennials say they may choose not to go to college. Many others see a less conventional path through education as a good idea. Over 30% of Gen Z and 18% of young millennials said they've considered taking a gap year between high school and college, unquote. My friends, for a lot of people, not for everybody, but for a lot of people, skipping college may well be a good idea, because if you want to go to a decent college, well, I shouldn't say that. If you want to go to one of the upper tier colleges or universities, you're going to be saddled with debt that you're going to be paying for a very long time, and you may not get a job that will pay you enough to pay it off quickly. Item from the Daily Mail, a family trying to save water by not flushing the toilet say they've been surprised at negative comments on social media at their attempts to be more eco-friendly. Are they really surprised? They all go to the bathroom at the same time at night, and only the last person flushes. My friends, I can't think of too many things more disgusting than that. All right, well, Hillary Clinton is one. Elizabeth, all right, we won't go there. Item from Breitbart. The Brazilian city of Belo Horizonte canceled a theater performance called The Coronation of Our Lady of the Transvestites after the local church protested the anti-Catholic nature of the show. On an online Catholic news site, Cruz, reported Tuesday the Archbishop of Belo Horizonte, Walmor Oliveira de Azevedo, released a statement calling the production, quote, a prejudiced and criminal action of disrespect of the Catholic Christian faith, unquote. The Coronation of Our Lady of the Transvestites. My friends, I'm not Catholic, I'm not even Christian, I'm Jewish, and I'm offended by that. If you don't want to live with religion, don't. But don't go spitting on other people's religions, all right? Respect other people's faith. Is that too much to ask? I mean, unless that religion is cutting off heads and honor killing and female genital mutilation, all that junk, but you know who that is. Respect decent religions. Respect people. So much of the problems in life would go away if we simply respected people. I'm going to go away right now, but I respect you. I'll be back tomorrow with more real truth. My friends, stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry.